That sound, not the sound of the cars from the road, but the sound from the sky, is the song of the bee eaters. I love those birds. I've loved them ever since I was very little. I didn't know what they were, I could just hear them. Beautiful birds. It's very hot. It's in the 30s here, it's August in my village. And it's just beautiful, it's heartbreakingly beautiful. When you're in touch with yourself, when you've dug deep past through the pain of your childhood and into the treasure, because the pain is meant to keep you from the treasure, you see. People don't even want to talk about their childhood because of the trauma. So if they don't want to dig into the trauma, get past that, and eventually, years after that, discover the gold, as I'm finally doing now after 10 years of very intense, hard, painful work, then you can't reap the rewards, and the rewards are just eternal. Every bit of you that was once alive as a child can come back, and so every bit of potential that you had, every bit of neglected talent, or anything that's been left behind as, oh, that's not me, oh, I can't do that, oh, I'm not that type of person, can be reclaimed and begin to be developed. Doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you're still able to breathe, think and feel, then you can do this work. That's it, just that. I wanted to just share this with you. It's so beautiful, and it's so painfully beautiful, because as my good friend John Richard in one of his latest podcasts, him and his mom were talking about the joy and the agony of life, of being alive. Most of us, myself including, and especially myself maybe, we spend our lives just trying to avoid the agony, avoid tragedies, avoid bad things, avoid poverty. So much so that the agony of avoiding the agony of being alive is greater than that agony itself. It's, yeah, too complicated, but I'm sure you got me. I sort of got lost myself. I was busy trying to avoid the bad things of life, where that avoidance itself, that fear of the bad things, was far greater than anything bad, you know. Because you lose the good moments, you lose yourself in the fear of what might happen, or might upset people, or, you know, you lose yourself if you don't behave the way you know you should behave. You lose yourself. And what's worse than that? Oh, I can hear the bee eaters. I see something in the sky, and it might be an eagle. Wow, I don't know if this camera is good enough to show it. And if it's an eagle, what a jackpot. Moves a bit too fast to be an eagle, so probably won't be. But it's just a big bird of prey, I guess. No, it's not an eagle. It's one of the big raptors. It's just very, very high up in the sky. Anyway, I guess I need to... Yeah. Never lose yourself. Life is short, man. Life is short. Don't be afraid of pain. The fear of pain is greater than the pain itself. Like Shakespeare said, a coward dies 1,000 times. I've spent all my life until my mid-20s just dying a little bit every day. Dying to myself, agreeing with people I shouldn't agree with, and just hating myself for it. I knew what was the right thing to say, to do, but I was alone. Nobody wants to be alone. And yet sometimes you have to be alone. You have to walk alone. Even if it takes you your whole life. What is a life? What is one little miserable life in the light of eternity? In the light of your soul? Your soul is immortal. Never sell yourself short. These people here, we grow up and we die just being settled for less than what we've known once we could be, or we could have. It's not the way. Never sell your soul. it's too painful. It's very, very hard. Once you start agreeing with the small injustices, with the little things that you know you should not have agreed with, once you start compromising yourself little by little, it's very easy to numb yourself, to become numb to that. At first it hurts, at first you feel, oh, I shouldn't be doing that, saying that, and then you get used to it. Then you do some more, then you do some more. And one day you look at yourself and you just don't like yourself anymore. Oh, no wonder. If you are that, then there's hope for you. But if you've gone even past that and started liking yourself, even in that state, then there's less hope for you. Nobody's beyond redemption, but there's less hope for you. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Please stay poor in spirit. Keep searching. Don't hate yourself. Love yourself. But love the real self inside of you. The self that was closer to you when you were a child. Because when you love yourself as you are now, years and decades into the conformity of the world and your family system, whatever system you lived under, because there are unseen systems. They don't have to be communism or national socialism. There are systems everywhere, in every family, in every organization, there are systems. The longer you spend under that yoke, the worse off you're gonna be. Don't be afraid of pain. Expose yourself to it. Dance with trauma. It's inside of you anyway. Are you gonna spend your life avoiding people and things that trigger your trauma? That's what we've all done. That's what I did for 20 odd years, but no more. I will run towards the thing and the people that avoid trauma. I sat down the other day willingly when my wife's father invited this huge professional bodybuilder guy who wasn't just, you know, people in the West, when they hear that, oh, well, that's his profession. But here in Bulgaria, you know, when I have people who are professional sportsmen into sports like this, people who are involved in some sort of business, very often they are shady people. They're not just talented sportsmen. They have a background, they have a story, and they have a lot of malice. Even if they're your friends, you look at them and say, I don't want to be his enemy. So all my life I've been intimidated from people like this, who've been involved. That guy's, back in the day, in the early 90s, in mid-90s, that guy's flat has been bombed, his car has been burned down. Huge guy, with eyes that were dark. I sat down with him and I had a laugh and I talked to him. It was very good. At the beginning I felt quite intimidated, then I felt great. Once you start speaking, you start expressing yourself, which is what was stolen from me for such a long time. Then I feel good, I feel like I've got weight. Even in front of people like him. For some of you it might sound funny, because you have other problems, but that's my problems is intimidation from men like that. And anyway, you know my story, some of it at least. Don't be afraid of pain. I will keep exposing myself to pain. Life's too short. I need to become myself, and that can only happen through pain. Do it. You're not gonna regret it.